with 433, do you have full access to their Instagram now, or is it all pre?
No.
How does that work?
Yeah, so we 433 are based in Amsterdam, so I'm the only guy that's based here in the UK, I think. But yeah, I send the stuff to them. I send the content to them rather than posting
On WhatsApp
it directly
or
myself. Telegram, because it doesn't compress the quality.
Yeah.
So WhatsApp, you send stuff in it, crushes it right down. But Telegram sends in full res, which is really cool.
That is pretty cool. And when you were so you went to the Euros final. You went to quite a few games at Wembley, right?
Yeah. So I was the guy that was at Wembley,
and you were, you know, filming people in the crowds and stuff like that. Were you recording quite a few takes before you sent it over, or were you quite time pressured where you were like, get it done, send it, you know?
So, well, no, you kind of do. It is quite quick fire, and like some stuff you might try and get a few takes, but other stuff you're literally like you're running around trying to capture like natural moments, and you know, it's trying to set up as little as possible. So sometimes you're doing like links, and you've got to say like, you know, do the segues of like, right, heading in from outside into the stadium, and you might do like a little link about the stadium or something like that, and that you might give a few cracks at, but generally it's fairly quick fire, because it's, you know, you might see some fans are like, you know, getting well into a chant or whatever, and you can't go over and be like, could you just start that again? Like you've just got to run and like try and capture that moment. So yeah, the amount of steps I was putting in, just walking up and down around like Wembley, just during the day, just literally just popping up in places I'd already been, but just constantly on like a loop, just looking for things, looking for people. You might see some fans that are dressed up looking kind of funny or whatever, or, you know, you've seen loads of England fans, but you haven't seen any Denmark fans, and all of a sudden you see like a Danish family, and you're like, I need to grab you now, because, like, you know, we've got you,
get in the van.
Yeah, exactly.
Was everyone willing to be filmed as well? Was there anyone who was
generally? No, like some people are like, just, you know, no one unfriendly, but some people just, it's just not really my thing or whatever. And there were people that knew 433, and they're like, oh, no way, and they're like, I'm a bit nervous, I'm sorry, like, I don't, and you'd be like, sure,
it's a big
like,
following.
Go out to
for sure. It's so funny, man. Like, there was such a mixture of people that didn't like 433 is massive in Europe, you know, like Bundesliga, La Liga, and stuff like that, and is big in the Premier League. But I think it's something that's definitely growing, and so it's a really exciting time to be on board, to be able to be here and do more stuff with the Premier League. But yeah, it's funny. Some people you walk up to and be like, "I'm filming 433." They're like, "No, I don't know, but I'll do something," and it's like, do you know you're about to appear to like 40 million people? Like,
the population of England.
Literally, like, this is a big audience. Like, whatever. I don't know them, but go on. And it's like, but other people, you'd go and film them, and they'd be like, no way. Like, oh my god, do it. Like, you know, and like, there was a guy who we filmed his group because they'd been being quite rowdy and stuff for the final. And we filmed his group being like, leaning into the camera. He came over and said, sorry, did you say you were filming for? I was like, 433. And he's like, no. He was like, you aren't. He's like going crazy. And they had like beers with them. And he was like, you need to take this beer. And I was like, I'm working. He's like, you need to take this beer. And he was like, I was like trying to be like, I can't. And he was like, I had a rucksack on and it had like the side pockets. And he was just put a beer in each side. And I was like, brilliant. Okay, great. And he's like, oh man, no, least I can do. I'm like, I can't drink them, man. But like, that's fine. Like, whatever. So no, just having to leave and like just left them somewhere for someone to.
Didn't someone win a ticket as well? Did you? Wasn't there a time where it was like 5 million you can get a ticket? How did that work out?
Yeah, so Demi, who's one of the founders of 433, like he's ex-professional footballer and stuff, and he basically had tickets to some of the games. So 433, where I guess for like Euros when everything was being planned. I mean, it still is kind of tight with COVID, but I guess it's eased a little bit. But like, you know, during the Euros, it was literally they were upping capacity and stuff from one game to the next. It was kind of changing all the COVID rules. So you had to be an official media partner to basically get a media pass for the games, where like a lot of games you could say, okay, we've got this following, we're going to go and do this or whatever, and you know, in normal times that's fine, but for the Euros obviously it's in such high demand anyway, and then it was like, you're not an official media partner, so we can't give you anything. So it was from one game to the next, like trying to basically get tickets, like beg, borrow and steal for tickets. But it was crazy. They were saying like that even the players trying to get tickets for like friends and family. They had like Mason Mount, Chelsea player, messaging 433 saying, "Can you get me tickets? Is there any way you can get any spare tickets?" And 433 are like, it's funny because we'd probably ask you the same, like, you know, just to see if we can get one of our hosts in. So a couple of games where, like, because we chatted about it, because you were saying about coming up at one point. But yeah, I was literally, I was going and doing all the coverage outside, and then I'd watch everyone that had managed to get tickets in the ballot walk in, and I'd be like, right, I'm off to a pub to capture the atmosphere there. And luckily there's a really good pub just up the road in Wembley, so that was fine. But I'd had to speak to the pub because they were so full, because there were so many people going there and doing that. They wanted to soak up the atmosphere but didn't have tickets, so they'd just go to the pub. So I had to speak to the pub because they bit max capacity long before I was done at Wembley. And they were basically cool with just, they'd have a list of people, that basically a guest list, that I'd go up to security and say, "Oh yeah, James working with 433," and we'd just shout them out and give them some love. But there'd be people outside, like, because they'd be operating one in, one out, but it's a football match, so people that are there are staying for the duration. They're not leaving beforehand, so there was just people outside just trying to see if they could get in. And yeah, it was mental. So even the pub was like, heaving. So
were you there for the German game in Wembley?
Yes.
What?
No. So not at Wembley. So I was at Wembley, but I'd had to go to the pub for that one.
What was the energy like in the street when they won 2-0? Was it just?
It was
insane,
unreal.
Yeah, I felt it through the TV. It felt like.
Yeah. So the games I got to go into were the Denmark and the
final.
Yeah, final with Italy.